Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got Brandon Stephens 2023 film study. Brandon Stephens, bro, hey, clap it up for him because he had a crazy breakout season last year. You know what I'm saying? I know us Ravens fans were a little hard on him. I'm saying the first couple seasons because he was a little too inconsistent. But last year, breakout year, had 57 tackles, 2 picks, and 11 pass deflections. Like every time you know what I'm saying, QB would throw it his way, that shit would most likely hit the ground. And especially when he went against Ja'Marr Chase, locked down Ja'Marr Chase last year twice locked him down. Now he did score a touchdown on Brandon Stephens, but that was in garbage time. You know what I'm saying, after the game was pretty much over with. But hopefully he can, you know what I'm saying, take it up a notch. He is going into a contract year, I believe. You know what I'm saying, we drafted him in the 3rd round. So he's definitely playing for a new contract. But let's go ahead and check this out.
This video is going to be a film study look at Brandon Stephens, specifically how he's played against the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals in the last 2 weeks, Week 7 and Week 8. In my opinion, he's put together a shockingly great 8-game stretch to open the 2023 season. For me, in my observation, from my memory, the only guy who can match the balanced level of play across multiple techniques and responsibilities in the last 4 or 5 years.
And like and it's crazy that bro used to play wide receiver and he used to play safety. Now he's, I'm saying, one of the best corners in the league, bro. Like that shit is crazy.
When he was
it took him a little while to get used to it, but bro,
at Brandon Stephens, we're only 8 games into the season. I keep waiting for plays to open up against him.
Okay,
His coverage is just extremely tight.
Okay, let's go ahead and
when he's playing, that shouldn't be
skip to the film
in of itself, because that's been Marlon Humphrey's position for years with this franchise. This is one of the situations I'm talking about. To me, this is either supposed to be man with Stephens on St. Brown and Stone taking the running back into the boundary, is what I suspect it is. But Stephens is so quick and so adept at seeing the quarterback.
That was a great tackle.
And guarding his man. He's able to respond to Jahmyr Gibbs out in the flats. Did you see Jahmyr Gibbs on Monday Night Football? 187 total yards, making people miss, breaking tackles. No chance with Brandon Stephens. Granted, he's got the sideline as a help defender here, but he finishes these tackles.
Yeah, he's a great tackler.
Push people out of bounds. He's playing at an
incredible level. Him and Kyle Hamilton are our right best tacklers, bro. Like in the secondary.
This is going to be against St. Brown. 4th possession. Completed pass short to St. Brown. I like how he takes outside leverage immediately. Gets eyes on the quarterback. He can see the quarterback through.
I love that technique, bro.
Possession. Completed pass short.
He is so fucking good.
Outside leverage immediately. Gets eyes on the quarterback. He can see the quarterback through. He can see the receiver through his vision to the quarterback, I should say. You can see him on the outside leverage. St. Brown's bringing this route.
And we mostly play zone anyway.
Closes down incredibly well. Watching this live, I thought, okay, it's going to be a type of play where he just pushes St. Brown out of bounds. No, he makes the tackle, inbounds, just like he did with Gibbs there. The number of people that he's tackled in game in 2023 and the level of athlete that is really high. This is probably the best example I can give you of how well he's playing in coverage. Now, there's a moment where St. Brown is open clearly because he's running an under from the other side of the field, and we're playing man. We're playing a unique version of man.
That makeup speed, but Goff did take forever to hit St. Brown.
Other side of the field, and we're playing man.
Yeah, boom, that little second, that hitch right there is what, you know what I'm saying,
unique version
cost him to throw an incomplete pass.
That I haven't seen us use.
Yeah, Goff has got to work on that. Because I've noticed that Goff does this shit a lot.
We're playing man.
Where he, you know what I'm saying, double fakes, double pumps, and then throws it late.
I haven't seen us use a whole lot of. I also think that Jadeveon Clowney kind of gets in the window here, but check out what the Ravens are doing. Stephens on St. Brown, check, makes sense. We've got the nickel on the wrong side. He's to the boundary side. He's on Jahmyr Gibbs. Laporta is being guarded by Roquan Smith, and this is Patrick Queen being asked to match up with Josh Reynolds. Clearly not a matchup in our favor, and he gets beat on this play, but this route, against all the grain of this traffic, it should work. 95 times out of 100 for St. Brown in any year in his NFL career, it's going to work. And he is open right now. And Jared Goff is initially trying to throw the football to him. I think Clowney kind of gets in the window a little bit, makes him pump fake, and that is just enough time for Stephens to recover. Perfect timing, arrived right at the same time as the ball This is high-level cornerback play. This is a brilliant play against Jameson Williams up at the top of the screen. Deep comeback. He's not phased at all by vertical releases from guys like Jameson Williams, who are incredibly fast and can blow right by most corners. Stevens is very confident in his skills right now. This is a great challenge.
And he ran a 4.4 at the combine
just
too, so
everywhere.
he's
The route
far from
combination,
slow.
route trees for receivers. I wish we could see a route tree in terms of balls that Brandon Stevens challenges, either gets his hands on or challenges the contests, I guess should be the better word that I use there. I'm trying to get to the Week 8 film, my apologies, but he played so well against the Lions last week, I wanted to highlight it. Considered not doing a video on Brandon Stevens because I didn't want to jinx it. Look, Sunday against Arizona, more of the same. 7 tackles, 1 pass defense, 1 interception, couple of great challenges like you saw there against Jameson Williams. He's up top again, 3rd possession here. Marquise Brown, kind of ho-hum. You see this all the time for him. Brilliant tackle, stop route by Marquise Brown.
I love his technique too, bro. His technique is so good.
Able to recover. Tackle him.
I mean, they always teach you to use the sideline as an extra defender.
Receivers, Marquise Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rondale Moore. They catch these balls, they turn them into 7 or 8 yard gains. This is shut down. 3.5 yards. Brandon Stevens does that routinely. 4th possession, 3rd and 5. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about who's targeted. He's playing man on Michael Wilson on the outside. Again, it's 3rd and 5. He's great at this, tracking the wide receiver and the quarterback in his vision at the same time from that outside angle, seeing the ball thrown, and then helping Roquan Smith make the tackle. Now,
his IQ is so up there because of the fact that he used to play offense, so he knows how to play receivers perfectly.
I think it's Williams got it, but Roquan does. Brandon Stevens shouldn't be here.
That's why I think that's like some DBs that transfer from wide receiver to cornerback. I feel like that's the reason why they're so shut down. So take Travis Hunter for instance. He plays both sides of the ball, and you see how dominant he is on both sides of the ball. Even though he is a better corner than he is a receiver, but bro, like he plays it both so well. And Trayvon Diggs, who was, a wide receiver before he went to transfer to corner, he's been really good in the NFL. Even though he does get beat at times, he's a ball hawk.
All right, he should not be here. Michael Wilson is clearly running a vertical, but Brandon Stevens, because of how great his eyes are, sees that the ball has already been released and is able to go help out. He's not playing flats here. He's not playing out in the flats where he can challenge a 3rd and 5 out route by Michael Wilson. That's not what he's playing. I think they're playing some type of pattern read. He had just communicated to Geno Stone, sees Josh Dobbs pull the pin on the grenade. Roquan gets to the outside shoulder. Brandon Stevens finishes him off. I still think it's very close to him getting it, but as it stands, goes down as a 4.5 yard gain and forced a punt. I think it's a great example of his awareness and how ridiculous it is to talk about targets sometimes when guys like Brandon Stevens can react to areas of the field that are not their responsibility. Next possession, this is a great catch in midair on this interception. Clearly the ball was thrown high. I do think that Queen's blitz might have impacted Josh Dobbs.
That's his wide receiver skills right there, bro.
Queen's gonna blitz.
And another thing, when we played the Browns the first time, he showed off his wide receiver skills in that game too. When he caught the interception, got up and had a great return. Then we ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive.
To the play side,
he still has those wide receiver skills.
Right arm right there, and Stevens is staying on top of this thing. Kind of like this little slant out, ball's thrown too high. Great catch in midair, though. Regardless of what we think about Dobbs' throw, for Stevens to convert it into an interception was amazing because he got to catch it in midair. Great timing. 2nd interception of the season. Cool moment to see him get an interception and Geno Stone. Of course, Geno Stone stole that interception from Brandon Stevens.
Oh, yeah, I remember that in the red zone.
Same play, end zone angle. You'll see Queen kind of get in the window of Dobbs throwing lane. And maybe Dobbs is releasing this ball a little bit further out to his right, the top side of that line that I drew, to get it around Queen. Clearly ends up being a flyer. I didn't think the announcers were real understanding of some of those situations during the game, being critical of the quarterback and not understanding that there's a guy in his throwing window. Late in the game here,
They sound like new commentators too. So
Michael Wilson.
the commentary was kind of boring in this game.
This route again. Seattle's tight ends and wide receivers are huge. DK Metcalf, Fant, the tight end, Bobo, the rookie wide receiver, 84. I forget his name. I want to say maybe it's Christensen, but 6'4", 6'5" guys. Those fades, would look appealing, but this is a great job by Stevens, who has limited height in terms of his matchup against some of those bigger guys. Possibly a blown coverage here, in my opinion, very similar to the one I showed you where he covered St. Brown across the screen on that 2nd and 3 challenge where Goff pump faked it. I think this is a blown coverage on someone because McBride ends up wide open. This is one of the coverage plays that confused me and quite honestly pissed because McBride faked it. I think this is a blown coverage on someone because McBride.
Yeah, it might be on Stevens. It might be on Stevens.
Ends up wide open. This is one of the coverage plays.
That might be on Stevens right there.
Me off. We're this late in the game. You can't make coverage mistakes. I suspect that this might be on Stevens.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure because Queen also released his guy underneath the tight end and then took over the running back. So I'm not exactly sure, whose fault it is here. I'm not sure if it was discussed in a press conference. You guys know I don't have time to watch those things. Ends up going down as a big gain, and for some reason we challenged him being out of bounds. So blown coverage gets him a huge gain. This one's complete to Rondale Moore. Another situation where
great tackle, bro.
Does go down as a 6-yard
gain. It wasn't a tackle, but he still stopped him from.
That's the longest gain I've seen against him on some of these short completions, where he's able to come downhill and front up the receiver. Meaning
he took a great angle to that tackle.
Simultaneously, not allow the receiver this inside, go to all that space. And then when the receiver turns and runs to the sideline, he's able to track with him. And he does actually have to push him out of bounds this time. But that's a skill in and of itself. You've got to be athletic enough to close down the front side by fronting.
And Rondale Moore is fast as shit, too.
Number one. And then number two, you've also got to be able to turn and run.
That's a great job by Stevens.
Because you don't have any help at that point. There's so much space there to cover. Goes down as a 6-yard gain to Rondale Moore. Still think it's a nice play by Brandon Stevens. All right, after Oweh, I'm sorry, this is same possession up top. Going to be a completion to McBride against Hamilton down on the bottom. Brandon Stevens is matched up against Marquise Brown. I think Marquise Brown's going to do like this little stutter in, and then try to bring this back in against Stevens. Stevens doesn't go for the fake at all.
Oh, that's so perfect. And he got it. I ain't gonna lie, he got him at the end of it, but you can't, do all that extra stuff in the fucking red zone, bro. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta quickly try and get open and get the ball in your hands. So Stevens had that shit on lockdown. So see how he shuffled his feet?
Against Stevens. Stevens doesn't go for the fake at all.
See how he shuffled his feet? Right when Hollywood did the little stutter. Boom. Now, he did end up getting inside, but that was right after, Dobbs got rid of the football. So that was good shit by Stevens.
Short by a yard. Oweh jumped off sides, creating this touchdown pass to Marquise Brown against Kyle Hamilton. And again, you've got the little in cut that's basically, clearing out that space by Michael Wilson against Brandon Stevens. So I think it's got a, pretty good line on him. Potentially the ball could be thrown in here, and Stevens would have to clear underneath Rondale Moore and get there to challenge it. So it's a tough scheme to deal with. Basically pick rub concepts. They're not going to throw the ball to Moore. He's just basically acting to shield and get Wilson open. I think Stevens has done a pretty good job against those routes this year. Very similar to the Rondale Moore 6-yard gain that I showed you a minute ago. This is the ensuing 2-point conversion. And again, he's up top of your screen, right-hand side of the defense. Our version of stick split 0 comes down at that same angle to front up Marquise Brown. Doesn't finish off the tackle, but Kyle Hamilton does. That's the whole point in design of that defense, is that everyone is looking at the quarterback, and once he throws the football, everyone can pursue and react to it to get to the football and prevent.
He made him stop long enough to allow everybody else to get there.
Another solid day, if you ask me, for Brandon Stevens out at right corner, outside corner, for a guy who none of us thought would be playing this
think
well
that's
at
it.
outside corner as a starter. I will say I didn't. I
Okay.
did not.
Hey, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. I think Brandon Stevens is, you know what I'm saying, gonna have another great season this year. We already, you know what I'm saying, we brought in Nate Wiggins, drafted him, TJ Tampa as well, just brought in Eddie Jackson. So this secondary is looking very scary, bro. Like, come on, good luck throwing against this secondary this year. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notification, notify whenever I drop another banger video. One road to 400 subs. Time to get there for more banger NFL reactions like this. And without further ado, I'm out. Gang!